The pohutukawa has been called the New Zealand Christmas tree since the 1850s, and it was popular through the 19th century as a way of decorating houses and churches and other gathering places. That was a Northern Hemisphere tradition where people used greenery to brighten up their houses in the midwinter gloom, and it was sort of a signal that spring was coming and there was a new season on the horizon, and people continued to do that here in New Zealand, even though of course it was summer and very bright and light. The pohutukawa was a substitute for holly because of its beautiful red flowers, and holly had long been associated with Christmas because it was one of the only sources of colour midwinter, but also because it reminded Christians of the crown of thorns that Christ wore at his crucifixion. The thorny leaves were reminiscent of the thorns, and the berries were evocative of drops of blood. So what I've chosen here is just one object from the Bernard Roundhill collection. He was a very successful commercial designer in New Zealand, and this is from a series of cards that he designed in the 1960s, and I think it's a great example of the mix of Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere iconography in our celebration of Christmas. So we've got quite a summery scene in some ways. We've got the beautiful pohutukawa in full bloom and that great red flower, but then underneath we've got Santa, and he's in his full North Pole get up with the the fur on the collar and those big heavy black boots. And that is how we conceive of Christmas. It's a mix of old traditions and new, and things that have been pulled from all over the world. And I think since the 1850s, when it was first called the New Zealand Christmas tree, the pohutukawa has been a really important symbol of a very unique Kiwi Christmas.